Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today, game 1 of a best of 3. It is from the Zotac Cup and it is between HyuN, the blue Zerg player in the lower right, who's up against Revival, the red Zerg in the top left. Of course, this is the ZvZ. They used to be teammates, but of course TSL is no more. And well, these two have played each other loads in online tournaments, like epic amounts. It seems every online tournament these two are in it. Pretty much, they're just crazy, and they usually do insanely well, especially when I'm thinking back specifically to the Antec Attack tournaments, which ran for a series of months, and HyuN was actually the most successful player in that ever. This was, of course, way before he got in good with the GSL and all of that sort of stuff. He was just amazing, and the final, pretty much on a weekly basis, was between himself and Revival, and the only occasion it wouldn't be that was if one of them didn't play that week for some reason. So yeah, I believe, if I remember, I think HyuN won it 14 times in a row or something crazy like that, so it's pretty exciting. Anyway, what can we expect from these two? ZvZ means the early game, pretty much everything is viable. From a 6 pool up to a 15 hatch is perfectly legit, and it can really swing back and forth very quickly due to the lava mechanics. So 1 minute it can seem like you're doing well, you're absolutely safe, and the next minute you've got 20, 40 Zerglings at your door and you don't know what to do. And that's why, of course, the Ling Bling micro becomes so essential, which I almost guarantee we'll see this game. And, well, so far we've already got our first variation. We've got a pull first out of HyuN and a hatch first out of Revival. Long term, they're actually pretty similar, to be honest. The hatch first gets slightly better long-term return due to having the additional lava and the fact you can produce 2 queens simultaneously and you're injecting sooner. Advantage for the pull first is you get a few more lava slightly earlier on, but due to getting the earlier queen, you're also a tiny bit safer, obviously with the queen for defense, and also the fact that you've got the option to make some Zerglings. Now, for Revival, he actually went hatch gas pull. That means he's going to get an earlier speed timing than that of HyuN. It also means that he's got the option to get earlier banelings should he keep the drones still in the gas rather than pulling any out. So that is an important thing you should always note when you are scouting in ZvZ. Is what are they doing with their gas? Even if the gas is down, that's not the whole story, because generally speaking, you expect people to keep 3 workers in the gas once they've got it, but that's not always the case in ZvZ. You can quite often see them pull anything from 1 to all 3 workers out, depending on how much they're going to be committing to banelings, how quickly they're going to be teching up to, say, roaches or lair tech, and also whether they're getting any upgrades or anything like that, or if they're just going to flood drones and Zerglings, which is an effective strategy. HyuN sending just 2 scouting Zerglings over at the moment. Revival now just finished up his own spawning pool and getting those Zerglings out as well. So from this point onwards, really we're going to see quite an interesting stage where actually HyuN will pull slightly ahead in terms of drones and lava and units overall for about the next few minutes. But then we'll see Revival start pulling ahead just due to the fact that he had this earlier hatchery, because of course HyuN's only just on its way out now. So looking at this, we've got 20 drones out for Revival, 19 for HyuN at the moment, and really neither player is looking to be too aggressive. Just 2 Zerglings out apiece for the time being, and HyuN actually going up to 3 queens, which I really like. I think that makes you quite a lot safer. You've also got the option to pick off banelings should any come in, and speaking of banelings, Revival now just getting up his baneling nest as well. So this is really standard ZvZ as you see it, where both players try to fight for map control. They've got good map coverage with their overlords. As you can see from both players' vision, it's pretty actually good. So from a result of that, you know if anything's coming. The defender's advantage in ZvZ is pretty huge. HyuN now just getting up his first 2 gas. Of course, speed is on its way, and we do still have 2 drones in the gas there, so not the 3. That allows for some banelings, but it gives you good mineral income as well in order to drone up and spend your lava effectively, because as you can see, the lava does start to get high during this stage of the game. But Revival happily banking up a little bit of money. He's got 100 gas, so I'm expecting to see a few banelings, and literally as I say that, a baneling is morphing in somewhere. Where exactly, I am not sure. I can't see him, but I know so. There we go. So 4 banelings, 5 banelings actually all on their way. They do get spotted by this overlord, so straight away HyuN knows what he's got to deal with. The problem is though, even with 3 queens, even with, oh, he's actually going to get this double evo Roach on evo down, which is a great move, and with the 3 queens he's able to complete a full wall off, completely protecting him from any aggression from Revival, which is absolutely fantastic play by HyuN right now. He's getting up a fifth queen as well now, so going for a lot of queens, which is something you don't often see in ZvZ. The drone count 35 to 35, Revival with 7 drones in production. HyuN getting out quite a few more zerglings. He's got no baneling nest though. That is the thing that I'm really noticing. He's getting up his lair though, and with the roach swarm finishing out now, he may be just teching straight towards roaches, which will give him an advantage once he reaches that critical mass where roaches become cost effective against zerglings. Of course, in low numbers they aren't, because of the surface area. A low number of roaches against a good number of zerglings means that the zerglings surround them and deal a lot of damage, but as the ball gets bigger, it becomes a lot harder to do that. Still we see though this complete wall off happily sitting there. We've got queens injecting everywhere, and all in all, to be honest, HyuN should be pretty happy. The third and fourth gas, and well, the second, third and fourth gas on the way down for Revival, as well as his third base, and the Roach one. So the Roach one an awful lot later for Revival. He is getting up his evolution chamber, so his upgrades are going to be a lot later than that of HyuN. But HyuN's third base is going to be delayed quite considerably. A little bit of creep spread going on, just joining up the bases, which is always a good move. It just allows you to reinforce in a more timely manner. And as we can see, a handful of roaches on their way out. These are going to hit a long time before Revivals, as his Roach one is still 10 seconds away from the completion. We do have an Overseer now for HyuN, getting a bit of information. He's going to be able to come and scout out that this third hatchery is down. That is an important timing to note, because that's the point at which you know that your opponent either has committed to an economic build, or if rather they are going to pump out a lot of units and come and be aggressive. So by seeing that third base, you know the Revival probably doesn't have that much in terms of an army. As you can see here, only 17 army supply right now, even after pumping out a lot of those roaches. So HyuN is moving forward. He's going to try and be aggressive. He's using Overlord generating creep incredibly effectively, allowing this slowling and roach force to get across the map in a very fast fashion. There's a handful of banelings there already for Revival, but if the roach is engaged well, he should be absolutely fine. Does need to move back though, does not want to have bad engagements with those banelings, but once the banelings are picked off by the roaches, it should be absolutely fine. We've got more roaches in production here for HyuN as well. The queen's even on their way over with a lot of energy. The transfuses could be absolutely epic, and well, as we can see, he's moving forward. HyuN is putting on the pressure. The transfuse is now starting to go down like an absolute baller. Revival pulling all the drones, trying to soak up some extra damage, but it's never a good sign when you have to start pulling drones. We've got forces trying to surround HyuN, but Revival is taking an awful lot of damage. So many drones are going down right now. The transfuses are still hitting in absolutely epic fashion, and with that, Revival does really get thrown back onto the ropes, because HyuN, he has got a far higher roach number. He's got a better concave. With the queens there as well, he's got a lot more units on the field. His worker count is now 10 above that of his opponents, and the roaches are still putting on the pressure. Good micro control by both these players. Revival trying to keep his roaches alive for as long as possible, but I think HyuN is now going to take this very comfortably. He's got a good number of roaches. The reinforcements are not coming out as quickly as HyuN is able to kill them, and even though the attack arc is looking quite good, HyuN's reinforcing roaches do now hit the field, and with that, I believe Revival is going to be out. He's 30, nearly 40 supply behind now, and as we can see, he is just losing everything. And Contaminate goes down on the hatchery, preventing those additional lava from being produced, and that is what's really going to put the nail in the coffin. All the roaches getting cleaned up. HyuN now with a good number on the field. He's getting his infestation pit behind this, as well as a third base, so still doing all the good macro behind. And there we go. That, guys, was Game 1. I hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, and leave a cool comment, and then I'll catch you at Game 2 of this best of 3 any second. See you there.